Hello, heretics, and welcome back to episode 2 with the podcast with Alex. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm excited for another episode. The first episode went well, I think.
Yeah,
So
overwhelmingly positive feedback.
yeah, even though we forgot some things and missed some details, so
Yeah,
people complain about that.
but I don't think anyone else has spoken 2 hours nonstop about the changes, so
No,
it's
so
we're bound to miss something.
let's do 2 more hours, I guess.
Let's do it. Today we will go through the rest of the factions, not including the Red Brigade or Great Hunger, though. That can be its own maybe special episode if we feel like it. So I'm gonna open my Julmust to get Christmas special feeling here.
hmm
Bit early maybe.
Halfway into November, yeah.
Yeah. With my Stormcast bottle opener.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So we will start with the Trench Pilgrims updates.
Hmm?
I haven't played a lot of Pilgrims. Have you?
Uh, kind of, kind of. I've played a full campaign on Tabletop Simulator. I don't have physical models of Pilgrims, but I've played a physical campaign, Tabletop Sim campaign, Sacred Affliction.
Okay.
That was back in 1.5, I think. So it was a while back.
Mm. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I made them before the Kickstarter was out with Bestaria miniatures. So that
Mhm.
was like a year ago. Uh, yeah, I was not great at the game, but yeah, uh, the changes. They have access to blunderbusses now.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't know what to say about that.
I
It's
think you
it's
do know.
it's not a good weapon. It's I'm
I think
it
it fits
it
the theme
If
of
it's the
the
theme, yeah. It's
yeah.
the same way they have musket, and the same way I've never seen anyone buy a musket. I don't think Blunderbuss is gonna see use. The shotgun is right there. It costs 5 more. It doesn't have shrapnel, but it actually lets you hit. So I don't know about the blunderbuss.
But the theme,
The theme is there,
yeah,
and the blunderbuss, they should have blunderbuss, and the blunderbuss not being bought is its own problem, not a trench pilgrim problem. So
yeah,
it's good that they have it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the flamethrower was capped at 2. What was the cap earlier? No cap?
It
3?
was it was no capped, yeah.
Oh,
So in was it 1.6 or 1.5 they introduced a cap on flamethrower and said it was going to be for every faction. It was going to be limit free on every faction, and pilgrims never got a cap. It stayed uncapped.
hmm.
So there was debate about whether that was intended or not, and now I guess we see that it's not only not intended, it was supposed to have a limit, but it's also lower limit than most other factions. Most other factions have 3, and they get 2. So that's quite a hit, I think. I think flamethrower is quite important, but
Hmm.
on the other hand, they also have anti-tank hammer for their anti-armor
Hmm.
needs. So I think they get away with it if anyone.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Polearm cost reduced from 7 to 10 from 10 to 7, and it's not a huge change, but it might we might see more polearms.
Yeah, I think this is the same. This is kind of the same point as the flamethrower, because this was the same update where they lowered the cost of polearm from 10 to 7, but for some reason Pilgrim stayed at 10. So I think it was just forgotten, really. I think it was supposed to be 7 personally.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Musical instruments no longer restricted to non-elites. I barely see any musical instruments as it is. So, but what's the tactical point of having an elite with a musical instrument?
Well, that's a good question. Having it survive, I guess. The musical instrument is, of course, super good, letting you more reliably dash. Um,
It's a +1,
and
right?
+1 dice to dash, yeah.
Mm.
So it takes you from roughly 58% to 80 something percent. So it makes it pretty reliable. Um, the elite thing, I don't know. I mean, going through the elites quickly, I wouldn't put it on a war prophet. I guess I'd consider it on a communicant. You could consider it on a communicant, give it good armor and and a musical instrument to survive.
Like
Um,
you could use it though, with the loudspeakers. Like you can buy it without having to remodel anything because you
that's
already
true.
have the loudspeakers.
That's true. They do have a built-in musical instrument. That's good. Um, then promotable units. I suppose you could do. I suppose you could give a musical instrument to Martyr Penitent, being quite tanky, and have that running around as a musical instrument, and now it can be elite as well. I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't think it's a big change, but more options are always good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. And then the punt gun, uh, the absurdly large gun,
Oof.
gains shotgun, which is very fair.
Mhm.
Overcharge adds reload. No need for strong or ally contact unless option. I liked the theme of having two people of it for it.
I liked it in idea, but I think that it needs to be either heavy or two people.
Yeah, yeah.
But both don't work because both means that you need to, if you have two people in contact, let's say they just fired last turn and you want to move up and fire again, what you need to do is activate the non-punt gun model, move it up to where you want it to be, enemy plays a turn, then you move your punt gunner, move it up. Now it can't shoot because it's moved while being heavy. So next
Mm.
turn you get to shoot again. It's
Yeah, it
uh,
works better in a fire team that way, for
yeah.
sure.
But yeah, as you say, I think the two-man team part of it was neat, and I think it would be nice to still see that represented flavor-wise again.
Mm.
Um,
Like maybe I guess you can just. No, I would like it to be that you had to model it with two models. Like you pay, but that would fuck up so many the other rules when it
yeah,
comes to. Uh, I
but
don't know.
having a 60 by 30 oval base with two, it does look cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and maybe you could like put tough on it so it counts as two models. But yeah, I don't know. When it loses tough, it doesn't work anymore. So I have no good ideas for this.
mm. uh, no, I don't know really how to do it either. I think I don't know. I don't know if there's a non-wordy way to do it because I could imagine like cutting the heavy part of it and making it require a person unless you're strong, but at that point you've reinvented heavy, so
Yeah,
I, I don't know really.
I like reinventing heavy.
Yeah,
More
overall
profit
balance.
then.
Quickly, just overall balance off the other things than other than two people. Overcharge adds reload. I think that was already kind of the case, wasn't it? I think it ended your activation, but now it has an actual keyword.
Hmm.
Um, and adding shotgun to it, as you say, yeah, it's good. It's
It is
got
the
shot.
biggest shotgun in the world, so it should
It
have
is,
shotgun.
yeah, yeah. So shotgun, to remind myself of what exactly the keyword looks like, is +1 dice to hit, isn't it? No, -1 injury dice to roll for attacks made at long range instead of in penalty to hit. So
Yeah,
pretty solid.
yeah,
I think it's a buff overall to the pilgrims that don't really have good shooting models,
yeah.
so they
It's
need the chance to hit.
the punt gun. How long range is that? Because normally
Eight,
it's 12 inches, right?
yeah, punt gun is 18.
Yeah, that's like a long range with no penalty on that is sweet.
Mm. Yeah, and it already has +1 dice to hit, so
Hmm.
it's pretty reliable to hit for sure. Right, onwards.
Yeah, you want to take it?
War Prophet. Loudspeaker forces movements towards visible enemies up to 3 inches. Lay on hands heals 1 blood marker if you succeed normally, or 3 blood markers if you crit.
That's huge. Like if you crit.
Yeah, the crit one. Yeah, I think. And lay on hands is it was already one of my favorite actions because it's not risky. You can just do it whenever you
Mm.
want. I think yeah, it's really good, and it's 6 inch range, so there's usually a target you can throw it on. Um,
The loudspeaker change. I'm not sure how it was worded before. Like, is it not a choice anymore?
uh, I'm not entirely sure on the old wording off the top of my head. Um,
We should look at maybe Trench Companion still has it. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking at the new one.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird wording because the wording is if the roll is a success or critical success, you can move all friendly models within 8 inches of the war prophet, including war prophet, up to 3 inches.
Mm-hmm.
They must end the move as close as possible to the nearest enemy model that was visible to them at the start of the move. I think I can pull it up on my phone, the older version.
So I guess before you weren't forced to move
Directly. I
yeah.
think you were allowed to move like diagonally as well, I think.
Yeah, it's the
Possibly.
same thing with the charging, isn't it?
Mm.
Like it's a bit more strictly worded.
Yeah, you're moving in a straight line towards the enemy.
That
No
might be
deviation
it.
of that. And yeah, consistency-wise, I think that's good. I think it was it had room for interpretation where you could move, as said, like diagonally into cover or something. Now this is a Zerg action. You're sending your dudes in, no regard for whether they're in cover or surviving. You just set them in.
Yeah.
And I think yeah, that's good. That's what it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. So, Martyr Penitent. Pills have no effect. Now count towards Zealot's strength cap.
Yeah, the pills having no effect is really good, I think. Martyr Penitent, to remind, as it has -1 dice to injury rolls against it, and Martyrdom Pills has the same effect, so you would end up with -2 dice, which is ridiculously tanky. If you then made this model elite and throw on some Holy Icon Shield, then this was a very difficult model to kill. Having it capped at -1 dice, I think that's healthy.
Yeah, we spoke about that combo last episode, right? With the Martyrdom Pills and the, what was it, the new Antioch?
The Holy Smoke, yeah.
Holy Smoke.
Because that's pretty much replicated the same thing of having -2 dice, which they removed here. So again, I question whether it was a good move for Prussia. Really, I don't know.
We will see if it changes.
Yeah. And yeah, counting towards Zealot strength, it's good that it clarified. I think personally, I think that it always did. But now it clarifies when it's resurrected, it keeps Zealot strength, and up to 1 Trench Pilgrim or Martyr Penitent can have strong keyword. Previously, I just said Trench Pilgrim, so there's room to argue that, oh, it's a Martyr Penitent now, so it's not 1 for Zealot strength, which was silly, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the theme of the Penitent, like coming back even stronger, and it's quite unique too. Like, I don't know any other faction that has this.
Not coming back stronger, I think, no. The closest thing is the House of Wisdom Homunculus that you can rebuild it for an amount of ducats when it dies. But no, it's a very unique one. One thing I would like to see for the Martyr Penitent is an option for one-offs. You can't right now get Martyr Penitents in one-off games.
Yeah.
And I think that's a shame. It's kind of a large part of the roster.
Yeah, you should be able to pay for it.
Yeah, maybe just I can't say a limit, but like, having 1 or 2 may be reasonable for one-off game, depending on size.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah, it's not like super hard to calculate either. +1 dice in melee, what's that worth? Maybe 10 ducats, 15 ducats. Like, it's not that hard to guesstimate one.
Yeah, and then -1 injury dice is about 10 as well. So for 45 ducats, it's pretty good.
Anchored Shrine clarifies broken on the wheel means removed from warband, now out of action. So that's very good in campaign. It's not a buff. I'm not mean,
No,
but it's clarified.
Yeah, I think that one is strange because it's the Martyr Penitent printer has been such an iconic part of a lot of warbands for a very long time that it feels strange to see it go. It was a reliable way, because the model is going to die when you put it on the wheel. Reliable way to get Martyr Penitents, and that's gone now. And I guess that's fine, but it's a change. It's a change for sure.
Yeah. maybe they don't like that it was 100% success rate to make martyrdom. Like I can see
Yeah,
how Thomas and the gang doesn't like it thematically.
yeah, no, it makes sense, I think. And the other broken on the wheel changes here, I think, are very good as well. The clarity stuff of breaking down what happens when there is someone on the wheel, that was a bit unclear at times before. There was always questions of, does the armor still apply to the volunteer on the wheel? Which, I mean, logically, no, it's a naked person on a wheel. They're not going to be armored. But there was nothing to point at it. Now it explicitly says it has an armor characteristic of 0
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So it's a good clarity broken on the wheel now.
Yeah. Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. Yes,
Martyrdom device requires an action, triggers automatic injury rolls in area of effect. That's the bomb, right?
that is the bomb, the prisoner with a bomb. Yeah,
Martyrdom
there it is, page 57.
costs 35 ducats. It's really nice that it has AoE.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what exactly changed here. Let me see if I can pull that up as well. I believe before you didn't need to roll. Exactly.
Now you can crit as well. If a roll is success or critical success, it can detonate and not be used again. When it detonates, make an injury roll for all models within 3 inches, friend or foe. Make injury roll with 4d6 and add them all together. Add +1 dice to the injury roll for if they were within 1 inch of the prisoner. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the crit does nothing, sadly.
Yeah, the crit doesn't do anything, does it?
It would be cool if it was like 6 inches wide if it
mm,
crit.
no, I don't know about this change. I've never heard anyone say, well, anyone who's played more than their first game say, "Wow, the martyrdom device is so strong." I've never heard that phrase personally. And needing it to make a success roll to blow up, I don't see why.
Mm, it doesn't. I like. I like, and I think the rules writers also they like the randomness of things. Nothing should be guaranteed ever.
Yeah, and I think at least give it some plus dice in that case.
Mm,
Like the loudspeaker has +2 dice to perform that,
mm.
making it basically guaranteed, but not completely. I just think that there's very few chances where you get to actually run up into range and blow up multiple enemies, and to have that chance, run up, try to do it, and fail the roll, and now your prisoner's just standing there.
Yeah, but you may try again next turn. It's not like it's a dud forever.
No, that is true, but
It could have been that way as well.
yeah, I don't know if the prisoner survives standing out in the open for a turn, though.
No,
I don't know.
it should also be like. Uh, Correct me if I'm wrong, but if someone kills them,
Hmm.
there's not a chance for the bomb to go off, right?
No, no, that could be
That
a thing.
should be a thing.
Yeah.
That should really be a thing.
Hmm.
Like 50-50, they blow up.
And that could be a nerf to pilgrims as well. If you snipe the bomb across the map and it
Mm,
blows up on the pilgrim next to them, that's pretty good.
yeah,
Could be a fun mechanic.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, Sacred Affliction is a subfaction, and they have Wrath of God immune to broken on the wheel, so they cannot be broken on the wheel. That's the
Yes,
only thing.
and this was a clarification that was roaming around the internet for like a year at this point, where Thomas had answered the question in private messages when people asked.
Mm,
So the question was always like, is this still valid? Like, there's always a question of like, someone getting messaged, can we really use that as a source for rules?
mm.
Now it's actually in the rule books. That's good.
So were people questioning if you can use Thomas' word as facts, or
Well, in a hypothetical world, someone could doctor an image of a private message from Thomas,
yeah, that's
and
true.
the message was also old. It was like a year old and still hadn't made it into the rule book. So at that point, like,
Mm,
when does it stop being a source of information and just,
mm.
yeah. But now it's in the rulebook. That's good. Wrath of God on the wheel was, frankly, it was a bit much. It doesn't need to be tankier. The Anchorite Shrine.
Mm. After this episode, we will see a lot of rules. Like, I got a message from Tomas. It's like exactly like I want it to be.
Yeah. Oh no. I brought up the idea of doctoring images to
Yeah.
change the rules. Oh.
Next one, the World Pilgrimage of Saint Methodius. This is the newest subfaction for the pilgrims, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can build mega shrines.
Yeah. Indeed. So yeah, the weapons are unchanged in this case.
But Machine Gun 2 is not the pilgrims. What's the normal limit?
Machine gun has no limit.
Okay, so in Methodius, the unique thing is that it has a limit.
And cost ducats, because in the normal it costs 2 glory to buy a machine gun instead.
Yeah, okay.
So they get bigger guns for money instead of glory.
Yeah, which is way easier to get. So
Yeah.
machine guns and mega dreadnoughts, kinda.
Yeah, and the automatic rifle and the submachine gun as well. Yeah. I don't know how to feel about this, because in particular, let me just check that submachine gun still doesn't have a limit in the main one. It doesn't. Submachine gun does not have a limit in the main pilgrims. It costs 2 glory to buy, and you get it. It doesn't contribute to your threshold in any way. As I said, I played a game of Trench Pilgrim, a campaign a while back. I did quite very well, actually. I don't think I lost the game. I was drowning in glory, and one of the most abused things that I did was spam submachine guns, because a pilgrim with a submachine gun costs 30 ducats for thresholds, and I had the glory. I wasn't losing, so I had the glory. For that reason, I think that's problematic, and that is still in the game, but not for Methodius, because Methodius specifically states submachine gun entries replace those in the standard Trench Pilgrim armory, and here it has a limit of 1. So Methodius only ever gets 1 submachine gun, where Trench Pilgrims can get any number. I think it's strange that the gun faction gets fewer guns, strictly speaking.
Yeah, but like, I'm not. I don't like the gun faction. For me, the pilgrims should be like naked with great swords and nothing else ever. And it's build your own dread is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm not 100% sold on it yet. But what's the changes on the Anchorite then?
Our next point. Yes, anti-material rifle costs 40 ducats. Previously, let me pull that up, make sure. Previously it cost 2 glory.
Yeah, it's the same thing here then.
Well, it's 40 ducats now, and it used to be 2 glory in the last version. So that's pretty good, I think. Pretty good of a change. Anti-material rifle is, of course, it's a super good weapon, and having access to it for glory, for ducats instead of glory, I think is overall better, I think.
I like the must target beyond 6 inches for the trench mortar in other war games where you don't have like a minimum target limit. It often becomes abusable.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, to be honest, I think it's mostly flavor. I think I don't think it's too big of a balance thing, because it does have, if I'm not misremembering, is blast free. So if you're shooting at 6 inches, you are really hitting something that's 3 inches in front of you. So it's a very small window where you can't actually shoot. But I do think that it makes a lot of sense for mortar, if nothing else. So why not change it?
Gas sensor always ignores armor. Did it not before, or was it on a crit?
I think it did not ignore armor if the enemy was in cover, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, that rings a bell. I think it's hella cool. The gas sensor is hella cool.
Yeah, it's it's a super strong weapon, like in theory. If the enemy lets you walk up to them and use it, it's really good.
Hmm.
Because yeah,
Lets you try to stop them.
I mean, it's a very slow machine. It's a big machine. Like, come on, you gotta try and stop that thing. Um, but yeah, it just walks up, everything within 6 inches, takes an injury roll, ignoring all armor, and hits all models, regardless of line of sight. Like it just destroys everything in a 6 inch range,
Hmm.
6 inch radius. It's really good.
Yeah. Last one, autocannon no longer ends turn after 3 shots. So you can shoot 3 shots and then move. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. It used to work like the machine gun,
Mm.
where it automatically ended your activation. It no longer does that, so that's
Can
nice.
can you shoot, move, shoot with autocannon?
No,
No.
that's still the general rule of you can only make one. What is the name now? The ranged equivalent of the fight action. I think it's just shoot, possibly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cherub face negated only by fear. Blocks risky actions within 1 inch. Okay, so I don't understand what negated only by fear means. You cannot. If you have. If a model has negate fear, it
hmm
doesn't work against the cherub face.
Um, the wording on the cherub face is an enemy model that does not have fear keyword and that
Mm.
starts an activation within 1 inch of this anchorage shrine must take a retreat action as part of
Mm-hmm.
the activation. Um, Previously, I'm not entirely sure what it used to be. It used to be if the model fighting this shrine anchoret in melee is affected by the keyword fear, one of the actions it has to take when it's activated must be retreat from melee combat.
Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't. You cannot be immune to it by having the
Negate
negate fear.
fear.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you must have fear yourself.
Yes.
That's pretty cool, but hard to keep track of, maybe.
Uh, shouldn't be too bad. I mean, negate fear is not too common. Like you get it on stuff like martyrdom pills and the new Antioch trench cleric, but there are a lot more cases of fear than negate fear. So I think you'll just have to kind of remember
Mm.
going into a battle with someone who has negate fear that that will be a factor and keep that in mind. Yeah.
Mm.
And one other thing to the ruffled cherub face, which I think is a very nice change, is it cannot take any risky actions while it is within 1 inch of this anchorite shrine.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, what you could do was you could, if you had a med kit and you didn't want to retreat from it because it's going to get to hit you and that hurts,
Mm.
you would med kit yourself, you would fail, hopefully, and then your activation ends, so you don't have to retreat. You can't get around that anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you can't take risky actions unless you've retreated already, so you're going to get hit.
People are very creative when it comes to
Mm,
avoiding mechanics.
avoiding the consequence of their actions, ending up in melee with it. Yeah, but
that's
yeah,
that's
I'm
fun.
glad they patched up that hole.
Yeah.
It was good.
All right. Last one. Cavalcade of the 10th Plague. Castigator gains tough. Cool. Day of his wrath. What's that?
That's the unique ability that replaces the laying on hands.
All
Um,
right.
that is, I think it's within 3 inches. You make someone make an injury roll that ignores armor.
Uh, Now it's +1 injury dice on crit.
Yeah, again,
So,
kind of similar thing to laying on hands. It's
mm,
nice that as a bonus for rolling a 12. I think
yeah.
doesn't happen very often, but it's nice that it happens. Nice dopamine moment to roll a 12. So they've got a new item. Oh, I don't speak. I don't know what language this is. Is it some sort of Arabic, perhaps?
Swedish.
Swedish. I don't think.
Takvin Ankabird.
Yeah, the Taquin Anka bird. Yeah. So a new glory item that they can buy for 2 glory. Not too pricey. It's an equipment. Um, it's elite only and limit 1. Um, Let me get the full thing of it up here, but it makes, there it is. Success rolls taken for melee attacks that target a model with attack when Anka bird becomes risky success rolls. And in addition, before an enemy model makes a retreat against a model with Takun Anka Bird, the opposing player must take a risky success roll for the roll.
This is crazy
So
good.
yeah, it makes it a lot better at surviving in melee. It gives you a lot of defense. Like the enemy tries to hit you with, they have 2 trench clubs, they miss the first, well, you don't get to swing the second.
Mm.
And they try to retreat, well, they got to take a risky success roll. If they fail, they don't get to retreat actually. So it's a nice bonus.
Mm.
Limit 1 elite. So you're looking at, you could put this on your
Captain.
Yushbashi, yeah, your captain. Could put it on your alchemist if you want to make it a little safer, or maybe the assassin even.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good targets for it, I think.
Yeah.
It's a nice item. And I think a lot of Sultanate players feel like they don't have a lot to spend glory on a lot of time. They have a smaller selection of mercenaries than, for example, New Antioch. So giving them a little something to spend glory on helps a little. Assassin's Dagger. Should we move on?
Yep.
Assassin's Dagger got a small nerf. It Assassin's Dagger has the effect, for those that don't know, that if it causes a blood marker, the assassin can then move away without the enemy getting to hit them in return.
Mm-hmm.
This used to be you could move away or dash. I can't remember if you could charge. I don't think you could charge. But now you must take a retreat action. This means that before you could, if you rolled well, charge in, stab them with Assassin Dagger, dash away.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that anymore. You can't dash out because you need to use retreat to get out.
All right.
Not sure what to feel about it. I mean, it was a cool move, the charge, attack, and dash out. But perhaps this is less exploitable, a little safer to
It feels very
word this
frantic
way.
though for an assassin to be like that, but
To hit and run.
yeah,
Yeah,
like or be maneuverable at least.
yeah, I agree. So I'm not too thrilled at this change. It feels unnecessary, I think. Then the alchemist armor, it's that one's weird. Yeah, I guess just got to get into that. Because yeah, there's a lot of debate on, not a lot of debate. There is debate. There is questions on that. The alchemist armor has keywords -2 injury modifier as an armor, negate fire, negate gas, so you don't get keywords. Then it has ability, add -1 injury dice to injury rolls for attacks made by weapons with fire or gas keywords that target a model that has alchemist armor.
Yeah.
The problem is when we get into the keyword ignore armor, which is quite common in a lot of gas and fire, for example, flamethrowers. Ignore armor reads, ignore -injury dice and -injury modifiers for a target's armor characteristic, and for any armor or shield piece of battle kit that it has for attacks that have this keyword. So are we to read that a flamethrower ignores armor and as such is not affected by the -injury dice against fire attacks on alchemist armor? Because largely I feel like that makes it very pointless. As I said, most gas attacks, with a few exceptions, ignore armor. So alchemist armor doesn't work against those. Most fire that you're going to see is going to be flamethrowers, which is going to ignore the alchemist armor.
But it has negate fire. So
Yes.
so the fire doesn't work, but yeah, you're right.
You don't get the extra blood marker, but it gives you -1 injury dice, and ignore armor ignores -injury dice for a target's armor characteristics
So
and
this,
for any armor
yeah,
shield
this
pieces.
won't work. Like it has -1. It has -1 dice though, the flamethrower.
Yes,
to injury.
but
And it inherently have so as well, so it will be -2.
inherently,
Doesn't flamethrowers have -1 to begin with to injure?
yeah.
Yeah, so it will have -2 with the protection from harm.
Well, that's the thing. Protection from harm, again, you can read it as it doesn't apply against the flamethrower. because it adds -1 injury dice for attacks made with fire,
Mm-hmm.
but then ignore armor, which the flamethrower has.
Mm-hmm.
Ignores minus injury dice for a target's armor characteristic and for any armor battle kit that it has.
Fuck.
So the question is, does ignore armor mean you ignore protection from harm? Technically, it's not part of the armor. It's like an ability of the armor. It's like a
Yeah.
so I'm kind of on the side that it works still against ignore armor things because otherwise it feels so silly. But it kind of needs clarity, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a long part about the alchemist armor.
Yeah. Interesting though.
Yeah, yeah, it's a strange one. I think hopefully gets addressed.
That this is the kind of thing people pay us to do.
True, deep dive into the alchemist armor. The Yushbashi next.
Yep.
This one got quite a nice buff that people have been asking for a long time. The Yushbashi didn't feel that good before. It cost 70 ducats, and it didn't really do a whole lot. It didn't really have good weapon choices. And now you can buy Janissary Veteran for 10 ducats. You can give it strong keyword and Janissary counter charge ability. Most are really going to be looking at the strong keyword. Counter charge is questionable, personally. But
Why?
strong keyword gives it ability to buy Siege Sale, for example. Uh, Counter charge is if the first action a Yushbashi makes during their activation is a charge, add +1 dice to melee attacks made by the Yushbashi for the rest of the activation. So this means that you cannot say you have grenades. You cannot throw the grenade and then charge. You need to charge right away. That's the first thing you need to do.
Hmm.
So firstly, you need an enemy to be within line of sight and range to charge.
Hmm.
And then you're charging in, and what do you get rewarded with? +1 dice to hit. The Yushbashi already has +2 dice to hit. So you're going from +2 dice to +3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're more likely to hit, but it's not a big reward. You were already likely to hit.
More likely to crit though if you have a sword.
Yeah, but again, would you rather not throw a grenade, get a blood
Mm.
marker or two, and then hit them, and then use that in melee
That's
instead?
new Antioch thing. The Iron Sultanate doesn't do stuff like that. In my
Throw grenades.
Yep.
Okay.
In my
Well,
mind, they build cool golems and charge with great weapons, but
no, I appreciate that. I think that is a good thing.
also they have an alchemist which snipes the entire world.
Yes, with a very cool Giselle. But no, overall, I think the ability to buy them strong at least helps because it gives you a nice target for Siege Giselle. Machine gun if you want to go that route. Not going to get into a whole thing about whether machine gun is worth it or not, but if you want to buy machine gun, it's a pretty good machine gun. That's probably it for the heavy weapons, and then you got heavy melee weapons, of course, like Great Hammer or
Mm.
Great Sword.
Yeah. A
So,
great sword with +3 dice
hmm,
is it's like you will crit non-stop. It will be very good.
it's decent odds. I don't know what it looks like exactly.
Non-stop, I tell you.
Non-stop. Okay, non-stop. Fair enough. On to the Alchemist, I guess.
Yep.
The quite a short one, really. Master of the Elements. Its ability to pick a keyword to add, fire, gas, or shrapnel, to add to its weapons. You could change that in the middle of the game.
Yep.
Before, you got +1 dice on the action to succeed to change it. Now
Yeah.
that's gone. It's just a flat roll. And it is risky, if I'm not misremembering.
But
It is risky.
it will still be risky.
It is still
Yeah,
risky,
good.
yes.
Good. I was worried
Yeah.
there.
Um, Personally, I think like this is a small change, and I'm not really sure why. Because most warbands, you're able to look at when coming in and saying, you just ask them like, what is there any keyword that you don't have any protection against?
Yep.
A lot of people don't have any gas mask. Then you say, okay, my weapons have gas,
Yeah.
and then you never need to change it again. The times that I've needed to change it hasn't been very often.
No. But
Um,
I like that it's not easy to do.
yeah, there is something to that. When you do need to change it, then you're not guaranteed. For example, I
Mm.
don't know if I'm trying to think of maybe there's some model that takes more damage from fire. Obviously, most of the Grail thralls or the Black Grail has that, for example.
Mm.
It could be something like that. Could open a nice cinematic roll and needed roll there.
Yeah,
Mm.
it shouldn't be like this. Will it will be the first thing to do because it's so easy. Like aim now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
shouldn't exist. But yeah, next one. Temporal assassin. Teleport pathing clarified. Okay. Must end in melee with second target. Yes, it wasn't that clear before.
I don't think it was very clear before, actually. I feel like we've been discussing temporal assassin wording for like years at this point, but I guess it's only been 1 year.
Yeah.
Um, so before, if I'm not misremembering, it's after you declared a charge, you use your temporal assassin. It never asked you that the targets that you use temporal assassin on be one that you could charge, for example. It just said an enemy within 12. So it could have been up a path that you just couldn't make, or an enemy that you didn't see. I can't remember. I think that you now need to see them. I believe. I need to read the
Mm.
wording.
Mm.
Um, so overall, it's a bit weaker,
Yeah,
but
for sure. Like in my mind, it was, it's time magic, isn't it? So
mm,
like if you charged point one, and then you, in that way, you could see somebody else, like behind a
mm,
wall or something, and you're like, oh, I want to charge that guy instead. Like it just magic solved all the rules clarifications for me.
it's convenient when you can explain any rules with magic. No, I think I have a slightly different picture in my head of how it works, but that's pretty much it as well. I mean, it is time magic. That is the key of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, now the wording is more specifically after determining charge bonus, you can say it will split through time. And you choose two different enemy models that the assassin can reach with its charge. Again, can reach with its charge, is that an enemy that it can see, presumably, because otherwise it can't reach an enemy.
Doesn't say can see.
No, but at the same time, like, is that baked into the charge at this point, since we can't do no line of sight charges anymore? Does that mean that it can't reach an enemy around a corner with a charge anyway? I don't know.
Can reach. Yeah.
On the other hand, you
Yes.
can. Oh, um, anyway, yeah. Then you move the assassin to within 1 inch of the one of the enemy models you picked, make a melee attack, and then you redeploy it to within 1 inch of the other model that you picked and make a
Hmm.
second melee attack.
Would you have liked it if it was 12 inches away, well within from the original target? Like it was like it furthered its charge range.
So
Up.
you're charging someone, and then
Yeah.
from there you
Yeah.
charge
Like
someone else.
it has a new line of sight and a new range. I would have preferred that.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have not liked it maybe, but it would have been quite far at the same time. Like your poor sniper sitting safe 18 inches away, and then suddenly an assassin appears behind them. But hey, maybe that's cinematic.
Yeah,
Um,
or maybe like the second charge is just a dice roll, not your movement or something.
yeah,
It's not that far at all, but something more clear and cinematic.
yeah. I think if anyone in the Sultanate deserves flashy mechanics that make you go, "Wait, how did he do that?"
Mm,
is the assassin
mm.
clearly. Um, so yeah. Overall, these changes, I think, plus for clarity. Um, Minor nerf, but again, it's minor. I think this is not a big one.
Mm.
Hmm.
Time split movement is now redeploy.
Yeah, that is I think a buff. I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be. Previously, I think time slip was a move, so um, you had to actually be able to move to that point. Um, Now the wording is redeploy it anywhere within 6 inches of its original location and more than 1 inch from enemy models. So as far as I can tell,
Mm.
you can go through walls with this. You can be anywhere within 6 inches. You can be 6 inches up a tower if you want.
Time
But again,
magic, isn't it?
time magic again, flashy stuff. I don't hate it. Flashy stuff is cool.
Yeah. So when does it occur? The time split. Is it when someone comes within a?
Time split is when an enemy misses you. They fail their success roll for an attack targeting the assassin.
All right, and then you can teleport 6 inches up to a tower. That's very cool,
Yeah,
but
so
makes no sense.
yeah, the time magic stuff, yeah, you could teleport somewhere that you physically cannot make it, but time magic.
Yeah.
Maybe you teleported 3,000 years back when you could make it there, and then you waited.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Cool. Base. Yeah. Oh, there are some changes that are they forced you to have a certain base size, and this is fair enough. I put them on oval, and I won't rebase them because nobody cares where I
Oh,
play. But yeah, and they gain fear for 5 ducats, which is very good of them to have.
yeah, so that's a nice bonus to the Lions of Jabir. Yeah. Um, Personally, I don't like oval bases, so I'm glad to see them go, I
Yeah.
guess, even though they're not gone. But in this case, I think the ability to freely rotate makes measuring weird when it's not a round base, but
Mm,
it's minor stuff.
mm,
Um, Overall, yeah, Lion of Jabir. Not much to say about this thing.
no.
The fear upgrade is good. Previously, it could buy for 5 ducats, ignoring fear. So having fear, that's bear.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Brazen Bull trample now targets any downed model. Uh, was it a base size
Yes,
requirement before?
I think it was 32 millimeter before.
Mm. So now
So
it can
now
do it against a desecrated angel.
could do it on anyone, yeah. And
Sweet.
it's a pretty good attack. It's another attack that you can make outside of your normal melee attacks. It's not part of a fight
Yeah, yeah,
action.
yeah.
So you can just run up to someone and trample them, and that ignores armor. So really good.
Amalgamam also has this, right? I think
Yes,
so.
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yes, I can't say I buy it very often, but I think so.
All right. More magic stuff. Fida i of Alamut.
Yeah,
Bow of Alamut. Teleport no longer counts as charge for skills and deeds. I like it.
yeah.
You can
I don't.
charge, kill, shoot, and teleport.
Yeah, you can charge, shoot, kill, and teleport. Yeah. Well, the bow doesn't have assault. Yes, it
Hmm.
doesn't have assault, so you can't shoot and charge.
Why doesn't it
Um,
have assault?
I don't
This
know.
needs to change.
You could roll the skill to add assault to it, I guess. That would help.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm not quite sure about this change. I felt that the wording that I had before, where it counts as a charge, was kind of a generic consistency wording. For example, loudspeakers had the same thing, just to make stuff like polearm work, and as I said, like skills like relentless charge, which gives you a
Hmm.
bonus after charging.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I feel like it was possibly unnecessary to remove because
Uh,
it feels like
Doesn't this seem like a buff to you? But I guess not when it doesn't have assault.
yeah.
It should have assault, and everything will be fine.
Yes. Um, because let me find the old wording because I believe I have it here. Because previously the wording was the assassin is considered to have charged that model, although it does not count as a charge action, and therefore the assassin can take the move action at a later point on this turn if it hasn't already. So I think that like the only thing that's changed is that when you shoot someone and teleport to them, you don't count as having charged them. You never did charge them.
Hmm.
You counted as having done it.
Hmm.
So this removes the amount of interactions there. Again, polearm,
Hmm.
relentless charge, other on-charge effects. So I
But
think it's
you can move out now. You can retreat, shoot,
well,
teleport, retreat.
you could do that before as well, since it does not count as a charge action, and therefore the assassin can take the move action at a later point.
Okay, so yeah, then I don't know.
The only change is that they remove the amount of interactions. You don't count as having charged, so you don't get bonuses or malices
Hmm.
for it. And in that way, I think it's a little boring. I think they're removing the amount of interactions is that's a negative.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
minor in the long run. Um, House of Wisdom, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Kavas. Now you can have 3 Kavas. Let me make sure. What was it before? Was it 4? It was. Uh, I think it was 3 as well. But yeah, Kavas is changing the melee characteristic of up to 3 Asibs from -1 dice to 0 dice, but you
Nice.
can't give them a skirmisher keyword. Personally, I've always thought this thing is kind of pointless. Yes, -1 dice Asib suck in melee. +0 dice Asib aren't much better in melee. Um, am I
It's
really
a
gonna give?
100% upgrade.
It is, yeah. But like, am I gonna pay 5 ducats so I have 30 ducats 0/0 model and then give it melee weapons and send it in to die? I'd rather just keep it 25 ducats and give it a Jezzail and shoot.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
um, Secrets, cartography, and geometry. Um, that was one of the secrets that they get to put on the alchemists.
Hmm.
Previously, they got the exploration skill. Was it another reroll? I think it
Yeah,
was.
free explore reroll.
Yeah, that's now gone.
Why?
Um,
Like, because nobody remembered it anyway.
I, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say that this is a balancing thing. On one hand, yeah, it does make the House of Wisdom, the cartography and geometry weaker, but on the other hand, I think that out of battle balance is not as important as in battle balance. So having a flavorful explore because he's good at cartography, to some level, I think that made sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
me too. I don't get it.
yeah,
Philosophy, poetry, theology, shaken warbands, ignore risky success but lose fear immunity. Okay, this is huge, this is huge to me. Like, to explain it, when you have half your warband downed or dead, you have to take the morality test for shaken. And if you fail it the first time, all of your warband's actions are risky until your next morality phase, in which you will roll again. If you fail, you lose, but if you pass, the risky action is gone from your models. So, not having risky on all of them for another turn, that's so good.
yeah, um, it's pretty nice. I think. Yeah, philosophy is alright. The loss to fear, I suppose, is.
But in
I
a
mean,
clutch
again,
moment in a game, like, oh
hmm,
shit, I lost my. They are now shaken. That could like cost you the game in turn 2 if you're really unlucky, or like turn 3 at least. But now you have another turn for sure, with all your members having chance to do
yeah,
something.
it does keep you in the battle. Yeah, that's very true.
I'd trade that for fear any day.
Sure, that's true. Yeah, I don't play too much House of Wisdom, so I can't comment too much on this, but seems right.
Yeah. Weapons collections must be bought at the warband creation, so you cannot do it in between games.
Weapon collections, and I think a lot of these steel mechanics are weird at the moment. I think personally. So Yeah, the wording is when you create your starting warband, you can purchase one piece of battle kit from the new Antioch armory, one piece of battle kit from the Trench Pilgrim's armory. The battle kit can be given to any model in the warband, as long as any stipulations that apply to it are followed. You can repurchase the battle kit later during the campaign if it is lost for any reason.
You can repurchase. All right, but you cannot get for glory points then from another team.
Nope, you need to spend some of your 700 ducats at the start to buy the stuff you need, and that is what you're going to have for the entire campaign. I think it adds inflexibility, adds a little bit of a tax to your starting warband having to buy it right away, and I think maybe going the full 12 battles and not being able to change what you buy, it's a bit limiting maybe.
Yeah.
One change as well that is noted there is, despite being called weapon collections, you purchase one piece of battle kit. It doesn't say weapon. You can buy other things with it now. So if you wanted to buy machine armor, for example, you can. Or if you wanted to buy I'm trying to think of anything else called martyrdom pills, you can do that. So that's a buff to it, but again, the inflexibility of having to lock yourself into it from the start, not sure on that.
Yeah. And next one, Defenders of the Iron Wall, Grand Cannon. I have never seen the Grand Canyon before.
You've never seen a Grand Cannon?
No. I have to look up the rules, I feel like.
Yeah, I've got one right here.
Well, that's a great cannon.
It's grand. Yes, I think this change is weird. Line of sight now drawn from the cannon itself. So let me see the actual wording on it. Yes, there it is. Measure the range and check the line of sight using Grand Cannon instead of the attacking model. The issue from a balancing perspective of this is that I don't have a way to illustrate this easily, do I? Let's say you have a wall, just a wall, and then you put the cannon right next to the wall, and then you put your model behind the wall, still within 1 inch of the cannon. This model is now able to fire the cannon using or the cannon's line of sight at stuff anywhere, but the stuff out there can't see the model, so they can't fire back. And I think that is a problem. I think being able to safely fire around walls is weird.
Okay, yeah, for sure it is. You can do it as the way you described. It reminds me of when Age of Sigmar made like war machines. You could not attack war machines by their own anymore. They were part of a profile for a unit. So you had a shared wound counter for the models and the cannon, and you got to choose yourself who dies first, the machine or the crew. And people could use the models for line of sight. So they build like a conga line of it instead of it looking cinematic. So you could and then when you died, you'd put off the model that was in front. So
and then they don't have line of sight anymore.
Yeah, stuff like that. But that would be a way to fix this. Like if a model is firing using it as a gun battery, they have a shared line of sight. I think that's fair. Like every model within 1 inch has a shared line of sight. That's fair to me.
So you could shoot the cannon and hit the alchemist on it. Yeah. No, I think that makes sense to me as well. I think that personally, from a balanced perspective, I think something's got to change with that. Firing no line of sight.
Because you cannot kill the battery in any way.
No, put it on behind a solid wall, and then you gotta hit it with blast, I guess, or move up to it. And you don't want to move up to a cannon. You don't.
This really has to change, because I think it's a core part. Like if I were to build an Iron Sultanate, and if I don't care that people hate me, I would certainly do this to win. Like if you want to win at all costs, like you would deploy in such a way. So how many can you buy though?
You can buy 2 cannons.
They cost 60 ducats plus 2
They
injury dice heavy. They're really good.
they're really good. Yeah, if you shoot a shrine with this, the shrine dies. That's pretty much how it goes. Like, um, and as a reminder as well of the power of them, they also have the ability to buy explosive charges, which allows you to blow up a piece of terrain on the map. So you can surprise the enemy by removing a piece of terrain and then shooting them with a cannon in the same turn.
Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, problematic change. Something needs to go with that. Onto the Heretic Legion.
Yep. We haven't even done 2 hours yet.
Perfect.
We're speedy today.
Speedy. Let's keep it up. Heretic Legion, what do we got? We got
Tartarus
Tartarus.
claws. It was 6 inches before. They could move if they killed something, but now it's only 3 inches.
Yeah, if they kill or down something, they get to make a free move, and if they move into something, they can do another attack
Yeah.
on them.
This is a huge nerf to me.
Yeah, it is a nerf, and I wonder if it's intentional or not. I don't know. The first version of Tartarus Claws was 3 inches. Then it went up to 6 because 3 was frankly it wasn't usable. It was you never hit anything with that. So taking it back to 3 feels strange. I think. Not much to say about that. Yeah, 3
Yeah.
inches. It's rough.
Especially if you compare it with like assassins from the Sultanate, which is super mobile, and this guy can't even move anymore. Like after he killed something, which is not very easy to do all the time. So
no, the weapon doesn't have any bonus to actually doing damage. It's 2 trench clubs. Well, with critical 2 swords, I suppose.
But they look cool.
They do look cool. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why this was done.
Yeah.
If it's intentional.
Yeah. I put a minus on this. Boo.
I get a minus. Yeah.
Puppet Master recording line of sight. That's also a minus. It was super cool that you could do it magic.
Yeah. Puppet Master line of sight is another one of those topics that's been discussed so much. Because again, that was one of the questions that was asked in a private message, and Thomas said, "Yes, that's bad. I should fix that," and then it was never fixed. So there was constant debate about, wait, did he change his mind or did he forget it? But now we have it on paper.
But he didn't forget. He changed it now.
He changed it now. Yeah.
It was put on the order.
It was a
work
long
order.
plan.
It's a long list of things to do.
Yeah. I think generally though, yeah, it's probably healthy, and I think that from a wider perspective than just Puppet Master, I think that as a default, abilities should require line of sight, and then they should specify if they don't. So from that perspective, I think that I'd rather see a change to all actions require line of sight, because most do. And I think it would cut space having to specify an enemy you can see if all actions are things you can see.
Yeah, but in my mind it was like in Ronja Rövardotter, and you can. This is a TV series now on Netflix that everybody has seen.
Yeah.
So there is a scene where the Vittror, or what is it in the ground, Väsen.
I can't remember what they're called.
They just call to her to come down to the bog.
Yeah.
And they did not have line of sight, so the Puppet Master shouldn't either.
That's a good case. You should bring that to Thomas.
Yeah, he must have watched Ronja Rövardotter.
Surely, yeah.
Yeah, next one. No longer promotable, thank the Satan.
Yeah, Warwolf slightly nerfed. It costs 145 duck instead of 140, and it is not promotable. I said it previously. It was limited potential, so you get 2 levels worth of XP on it.
That could become crazy, like absolutely bonkers with the right skills.
Yeah. There was a lot of very good skills for it, and in a way, I don't dislike the nerf. I think that the Warwolf Assault Beast is supposed to be, to me, it's supposed to be unmodifiable. It's kind of like a
Mm.
mercenary, which are now promotable, so it goes against that point. But this is supposed to be the static thing. You're against the
Yeah,
Werewolf Assault Beast, you know what it is.
yeah, it's a tank. You're up
Yeah,
against a shredder.
yeah.
I like it.
What 145 duck instead of 140. It's such a small change. I can't
Mm.
comment on whether it was needed or not. Like
Mm.
5 ducats. Yeah.
Okay, loping dash +1 dice. It was 2. Great.
Yeah. Um,
It doesn't need to be 2 plus dice.
yeah. Again, I don't. I'm not sure. I from a from like from what I hear from people, competitive meta wise, the Werewolf Assault Beast is often seen as a noob stomper model.
Mm.
This thing kills people who don't know how to deal with it, and people who have optimized lists and know how to deal with it. This thing doesn't last very long.
Mm.
So this feels like it is balanced around those new players,
Mm.
which is not a wrong choice. It's not right or wrong. I think it's a choice. Um, whether it's right or not, I don't know. +1 dice, it's still reliable. It's still very reliable to do.
Yeah.
+2 was, well, basically guaranteed.
Yeah, nothing should be guaranteed.
Yeah, but then we start looking at loudspeakers. Loudspeakers at +2, and now we have aim with +2 as
Yeah,
well.
the
So
aim change was weird.
yeah.
It was.
Um, so again, just having I don't know. It's hard to comment on without knowing what exactly is the intention here. Is it to make it weaker, or is it to add risk to it, or
Mm.
yeah?
Yeah, okay, so anointed. Move clarified as 6-inch infantry. What was it before? What's going on?
Yeah, the anointed thing was it was a mess. The
I also love
anointed,
how you always know the deep lore behind every discussion.
yeah. So the anointed in all previous versions was 6 inches move.
Yeah.
Then we got the 1.0 rules, and they had 8 inches move.
Yeah, but that was.
And and it's now been
Yeah.
clarified in the
Okay.
errata that it is supposed to be 6.
Yeah.
That's the
That's true.
yeah.
But I never thought otherwise.
Me neither. But those discussions where people were like, "Well, it is on paper," ugh, it's
Mm,
frustrating.
paper. You can burn it so easy. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Artillery Witch costs up to 100 ducats. Direct hits blow targets away. So, in which direction, though?
Directly away from the witch.
Okay.
Previously, that wasn't specified, so there was a lot of debate about do you send it directly away, or I mean, the point is right on top of them, so they can
Mm,
push down, but they can't go down, so they just stay.
yeah.
Now we clarified
Mm,
it's going away from the witch.
okay. Yeah.
100 ducats, slight nerf again. The witch is strong. Sure, why
What
not? I
does
guess.
up to 100 ducats mean? Can you upgrade it somehow?
No, the cost changed up to 100
Okay,
instead of
yeah. Okay,
90.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it. Battery. Second which allow if warband is over 1,000 ducats.
What did change was that in 1.6 it said over 1,000, I think. Now it is 1,000 or more, which is
Okay.
good because that campaign battle when you're fielding 1,000 ducats and you actually like, oh, if I only had 1 ducat more, but
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I get
Now
it.
it's exactly the threshold. That's when
Yep.
you can get it.
Yep. Levitate, which is basically fly, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what is the difference between it at this point. Levitate is you do not have to take a risky success roll for an artillery witch when they climb or jump, or an injury roll if they fall. I think the difference is terrain, dangerous and difficult terrain.
They don't treat it as open terrain.
No, they get
Okay.
affected by it still,
Okay.
levitate.
Okay.
So it's slightly weaker fly, I think, at this point.
Yep. Cool. Wretched can take any battle kit. What? Minus 10 ducats. No longer limited by heretic. Now have the heretic keyword. Blessing goes. I don't understand any of these words.
So the wretched before could not take ranged weapons. Now they can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, so they can have anything that costs less than or 10 or less money.
All
Um,
right.
and before you had a limit of you had to have fewer wretched than you have heretic models. So if you brought 5 troopers, if your entire army was 5 troopers, you could have 4 wretched, not 5. You had to have fewer. that limit is gone, and they themselves have the keyword heretic. So you
Okay,
can now field an army of a heretic priest, a werewolf, and 20 wretched.
that's pretty cool. And what does a shotgun cost?
10. You could get them
That's
in shotguns.
oof.
Yeah. Shotguns and gas grenades have been. It's a nice option for them. They're not likely to hit, but if they do hit, they hurt.
Yeah, wretched with shotguns. That's a cool thing.
Yeah. And then slight nerf as well that the blessing, the what is the ability called? Dark blessing. When they go out of action, you get to place a blessing marker. You no longer get to choose an elite. You have to place it to the nearest friendly model with elite and
Yeah,
heretic keywords. So
yeah.
a slight nerf, but not big.
Hmm.
And previously, Law of Hell also checked, did you succeed in doing a glorious deed with the wretched? Then he's going home, he's free. Now the wretched is staying until he kills something with elite keyword.
Okay.
So that's nicer for the heretics. They get to keep the wretched for longer.
Hmm.
I had that happen several times in campaign, several times, like twice or 3 times probably,
Hmm.
where there's the what's that a glorious deed like risk it all. You need to do 2 risky actions in one activation,
Hmm.
and I start my activation, I move up, I dash, I try to climb on top of something, and I succeed with a climb, and my opponent tells me, "You just did 2 glorious deeds with the wretched," and he's just going home like you don't get to play one more. It's like, oh, right, yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm glad to see that go.
you seem to be really good at playing for glory.
Well, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
You get all the fun toys from that.
yeah. Trench ghosts. The Yeah. Tank palanquin elevation bonus now 3 inches. Down injuries treated as minor wounds. The elevation bonus. What does that mean?
The tank palanquin has a bonus where the model on it, the priest, counts as being a number of inches up when you
Oh
calculate the
right. Yeah, yeah,
elevated
yeah, yeah.
position.
That's the thing.
This isn't technically a change. This was changed from 2 to 3 because elevated bonus changed from 2 to 3. It just moved in line with that.
Mm.
So it still gets elevated position.
And down in your street is mindful. That's really, really good.
Yeah, that comes from the machine armor, if I'm not misremembering. It's still worded as that, isn't it? No, now it's explicit. Okay. So yeah, when a model that has a tank palanquin suffers a down result, it's treated as minor wound result instead. Yeah, really good.
Mm.
Uh, Makes it very tanky, especially since it's the armor is -3 armor and it's -1 dice to all injury because it's semi-corporeal, the ghosts.
Yeah. I really
So
need to do this faction soon. It's one of the few factions I haven't. I cannot choose what theme I'm gonna do. Like I don't like the night haunt route of it.
okay,
I don't want to do that. So what do I want to do? And I was looking at a Loppis, a secondhand store, it was a huge Viking ship, uh,
okay,
and Sammy said you should do Trench Ghost Vikings with this and paint it
yeah.
like or Night Haunty, and then put like Viking models as
Having a ghost Viking longship would be pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah,
I did not buy it in the end because I already have quite a lot of projects going on. But yeah, if I had to do a trench coast right now, it would be Vikings.
yeah. I'm sure it will be possible to find another Viking longship somewhere.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be impossible in the country.
like buying the Idenef terrain for Age of Sigmar. That boat is pretty sweet to model,
Okay. Hmm.
or the Marienburg land ship.
Oh, that was good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a good idea.
I digress. Move on.
Yes. Sarcophagus mines now count as armor and affects trooper count. Um, the armor stuff is that's clarification really. Because previously sarcophagus mine was strictly speaking, I think it was an upgrade rather than an actual item, which meant that there was room to argue that you could buy a heretic trooper, give it sarcophagus mine upgrade, and buy standard armor and trench shield and say this model has -5 armor, which is ridiculous. Now it is explicitly an armor, so you can't do that. And I think it also says exactly cannot have any other battle kit, so we're not dealing with any of that anymore.
But what does effect trooper count mean? Like, how does it?
Before, in the last version, a sarcophagus mine didn't count as a trooper when determining how many legionnaires you can buy.
Okay.
So now you have sarcophagus mine limit 2, so you could do 2 sarcophagus mines and 2 legionnaires.
Okay.
That's nice. Not much more to say on that.
No.
Yeah. Oh, then we get to Knights of Avarice, huh?
You don't seem excited.
I don't know. I mean, I'm a fan of Knights of Avarice. It was my first warband that I made with my, well, at the time, worse printer and worse models. I did not have the official models, so here's my heretic priest checking in, saying hi.
I remember that when you did that one.
Yeah, it was a University Enderfree that printed it. Good on you, Enderfree. But anyway, Knights of Avarice, onto that. Corrupt merchants, their ability to buy equipment from other people really hit very hard, I think. Previously, what you would do is you would get to pick one type of battle kit from New Antioch and Iron Sultanate. You could say sniper rifles from New Antioch and medkits from Iron Sultanate. You could then buy these at the same limits as those factions. So New Antioch is, I think it's 3 sniper rifles, and Iron Sultanate has no limit on medkits. You could buy as many as you wanted. What it is now is when you create your starting warband, you can purchase 1 piece of battle kit from New Antioch Armory and 1 piece of battle kit from the Iron Sultanate Army. You can give the battle kit to any model in your warband, as long as any stipulations that apply to it are followed. You can repurchase it later if it's lost for any reason. It's essentially the same as the House of Wisdom. They only get 1 item. You get to buy 1 big item. So now, medkits is probably out the window. You want to make the items you buy count. Stuff like machine armor is probably a better shout at this point. Perhaps the Anka bird. Who knows? But yeah, quite a big change, I think. Yeah, not sure if it's good or bad. I guess to some level, it's not great if their entire identity is stealing other people's stuff, because then they don't really have an identity of their own. But on the other hand, now they don't even have that identity, so they, in my opinion, need a little something maybe. But I'm biased.
Their own leader kind of model, like the trench coats has.
Having a little, some other fun toys.
A chapter master, if you will.
Then onto the artillery witch, heretic priest. Let's do that. Puppet master is no longer a choice for Knights of Avarice. You must take the replacement ability, Price of Greed. From a personal perspective, I like it. Not from a balancing perspective, but I like it because I like it when factions have unique things.
Yes.
And not picking the unique thing is boring. So I always pick Price of Greed despite it being worse.
Okay, I can read the Price of Greed. Well, the wealth becomes the target of this curse, gradually crushing its victim under its weight. A Knight of Average Heretic Priest can take Price of Greed action. If they do so, take a risky success roll. If the roll is a failure, it does nothing, ends immediately. If the roll is success or critical success, make an injury roll for an enemy model that is within 12 inches. Doesn't have to be. Oh, it does have to be. And in line of sight. Add +1 injury. If it was a critical success, add +1 dice to the roll for each -1 modifier that applies to the target. For example, if the target had standard armor, it is -1. You would add +1 dice and a -1 injury modifier to the roll. So they'd still get the armor, but you roll another dice.
Yes, and there is probably a typo in this description because it
Mm-hmm.
says add +1 dice and not injury dice. Presumably that should be injury dice. So yeah, at that point, if the enemy has 2 armor, they have a standard armor and a shield, let's say, you get
Mm-hmm.
to add 2 more dice. And yeah, the -2 still applies, but hopefully you make up for it with your more dice.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I like Puppet Master more.
Hmm?
Like it always does something super cool. This is
Yeah.
just a gun.
Yeah, that's the annoying part, isn't it? That this is an injury roll. You're making someone roll an injury roll. Yes, it's slightly different injury roll, but it's just
Mm,
an injury at the end. Puppet Master allows you to fling people off buildings, send people into
yeah.
melee with your werewolf. There's a lot of tools you can do with that.
There is a spell in Warhammer Fantasy which is the same thing.
Hmm?
Like you get okay, I can't remember a single thing about it except if you have lots of good. Yeah, it was like this. If you had a 2+ save, which is the strongest you can have,
Hmm.
on a 2+ you died. I
Oh,
think so. It was yeah, very good.
yeah. I think yeah, not only flavor wise, but I think Price of Greed also. Well, I suppose it is flavor wise. It's supposed to be like the enemy being crushed
Yeah,
under their armor,
and
but
their
really,
wealth.
yeah, but really, -3 armor really protects you well against this. Still, I think
Yeah, you
it's
should.
hard. It's hard to balance, but I would like to see the more armor they have, the more damage it is. Like adding some.
If we're going to the they wrote this wrong route
Hmm?
because they wrote the +1 dice wrong.
Yeah.
Could it be that they mean it's a +3 modifier to the roll, not a minus? It's not minus modifier to the roll. It should be a plus modifier to the roll,
Oof, I mean, that would be a big change.
and it would make
But
sense to me in
it,
like flavor wise.
to some level, it would make sense. Yeah. But it would be so strong. I think at that point. I think like balance wise, I'd like to see it be weaker against stuff with lower armor than it is now, because right now it's the same as being hit by a bolt action rifle in the chest. So maybe make it a little weaker than that. Um, but make it a real threat against -3 armor stuff. Like you don't want to have a -3 armor near this priest.
Yeah, it should be like it could be a thing like if you do this action your activation is ended afterwards. Like
Mm,
some limitations to it, so you can't do it and move or.
yeah, something like that
Uh,
could be something.
yeah,
Um,
if you do this action, it can only be your only action that turn. Like you cannot move at all that turn,
oh,
or something like that. You just charges
yeah,
up the magic, the entire activation.
could be. Yeah, yeah. Who knows? Should we keep moving now?
Okay, let's do
There's
it.
there's like 5 more points of Knights of Avarice, so that's not yeah.
Uh,
Uh, gas bombs. This one's quite minor at least. Where's the gas bombs? Uh, Absolute block of keywords. Keywords of gas bombs: -1 injury dice, blast free, gas, ignore armor, ignore cover, ignore elevated position, ignore long range skill, reload, and scatter. Um, the thing that's changed with the gas bomb essentially from before is that previously, if you direct hit someone, you would roll a flat 2d6. That's no longer the case. There's no bonus for hitting someone directly. It's always -1 injury dice. So
okay.
slight nerf, sadly. Um, then we got choking gas. Adds stagger d3 away from blast or attacker's choice. So that's the replacement of the knockback effect of the witch.
Mm. It's the same thing though.
Um, yes, kind of, but the difference is if the model was the target of the attack, it staggers in a direction chosen by the player making the attack. So you can if you direct hit them, you can make them stagger towards you.
But how is that? How does that make sense? How can you choose where they go?
Hell magic.
Okay,
I don't know.
let's go for it.
Yeah. Um, Golden Calf Altar got buffed a little. good, I think, because personally I'm not a big fan of it. Previously, the difference is that previously it only worked when you dropped it on the ground. While you were carrying the golden calf altar, it didn't do anything.
Mm.
Now, enemy models treat open ground and all terrain within 3 inches of a model with a golden calf altar as being difficult terrain, even if they can fly, which is
Even if they can
quite
fly.
quite nice. And then yeah, you can still place it on the ground, and then everything nearby needs to treats it as difficult terrain. That's quite nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's a good defensive tool. Problem is, of course, you need to place it and then move back, but against stuff like melee stuff, like a court trying to charge you, that last 3 inches is going to be twice
Mm.
as expensive to move.
It has the illusion special rule. What is that? Do you know?
That's the difficult terrain
Okay, that's
illusion.
illusions. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Nice. Tarnished armor. 25 ducats. No shrapnel negation. Provokes charges even in cover.
Yeah, tarnished armor got quite a nice buff here actually. So tarnished armor used to be 45 ducats. It's now 25, so you save 20 ducats on that. It did used to negate shrapnel. It doesn't anymore. But even if we take into account the fact that you now need to buy a helmet to do that, you're still saving 15 ducats. And the unique thing about tarnished armor is that an enemy model that is charging, they decide to charge. If they can see the model with tarnished armor and that's a valid target, they must charge this model.
Yeah. And it can stand with by a golden calf.
They could be standing by a golden calf altar, yeah. And before the tarnished armor didn't work if they were in cover. You had to stand out in the open for the charge magnet effect to work. But that's gone. So overall, great time for tarnished armor. It got a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Because again, it is a -2 injury modifier armor for 25 ducats. It's a great piece of armor.
Yeah, you're selling me on the Knight of Avarice a bit.
Yes,
like,
join the greed.
Yeah.
Well, we still got a few more toys to go through. For example, the Standard Mammon, which sadly was nerfed. So, Standard Mammon is a piece of equipment which is held and has keyword leader. It's essentially a troop flag. The thing that was changed is that before, an enemy that came into 1 inch had to make an action roll, and if they fail, they go down and they cannot stand back up. It's really nice. You'd stab them while they're down. And the nice thing with that, of course, is that the core is just -1 dice to all actions applies to that as well. So the enemy was very likely to fail. But what has changed now is that firstly, an enemy model that is down and within 1 inch cannot stand back up. So it applies all the time. It's not just when they get down by the mammon. You can run into them when they're downed and then they can't stand anymore. But now it says, in addition, the opposing player must take a success roll for any of their models that finish a charge within 1 inch of a model with a Standard Mammon. It's no longer when they get into melee with you, it's when they finish a charge. Before, you could charge them and they had to take a roll. Now it's only when they charge you.
Yeah, I don't like this.
It's not very flexible, and against some warbands you never get to see the effects. Like New Antioch, for example. Why is someone going to choose to charge you, and when are they going to choose to charge the standard? You're never going to choose that.
It's more fun to think of like someone, look at the flag.
Yeah. The power of Mammon compels you, and they fall to the floor.
You must combine this with the tarnished armor.
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
So, which also has the golden calf.
Yeah.
Expensive model.
Well, I don't know if you want the golden calf, because then they don't make it into melee with you. You want them to make it. Yeah.
True that.
But yeah, that's overall. I think a bad time for Knights of Avarice this update. It wasn't great. It wasn't a great update for them.
No. And the last one of the heretics, the naval raiding party. Did they get no changes except anointed cap?
I think that is the only direct change that they got. Yeah, it's
That seems weird to me, but
I don't think they got any other difference. I'm looking through it now. No, I don't think there's anything else.
do you think that they are perfectly balanced or like popular at all?
I don't know about popular, but I think they're not so popular anymore. I think they're still probably average popularity. They're just not very popular. But I think that's only because their rules aren't very flashy anymore.
Hmm.
I think they are still one of the stronger warbands in the game,
Hmm.
without a doubt. Simply because of the ability, fast as lightning, add +1 dice to the risky success roll for models from a heretic-enabled raiding party warband that are taking a dash action. Having every single one of your models have +1 dice to dash, it's insane reliability,
Hmm.
and you can just move out, shoot, dash back in, or vice versa.
Hmm.
Um, and they're just everywhere at all times. Along with the fact that they can spam submachine guns for 25 ducats. It's it's yeah. Heretic Naval Raiders is one of my favorite warbands to play, just because they are so simple.
Hmm.
But everything just works. You
Hmm.
want to dash, you're probably gonna dash. You have so many submachine guns, you get to roll lots of attacks, roll lots of injuries. It's they are fun.
And shoot and charge.
Um, and yeah, the ability to shoot a submachine gun twice and then charge is of course a buff as well. Um, I can talk about anything that is away. What am I going to talk about?
Well, what do you say? Anything?
Um, no, when you disappeared out of screen, I said I could talk about anything right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I turned off my
Um,
airbrush compressor. It was humming.
yeah. Um, no, so the only change, the direct change that they got here was they can now have two anointed instead of one. Um, Quite nice for them, I guess.
Yeah.
It's because Heretic Legion, of course, has access to the anti-material rifle in their armory, which is undoubtedly a really great weapon. So your anointed was kind of locked into being the anti-material rifle carrier of the warband.
Hmm.
And now that you have two, you can buy is it battlefield title, increase your limit of anti-material rifle, add two of them. Or if you want to do something else, you could have a machine gun or a heavy flamethrower. So I think it adds some more choice. Choice is fun. Good.
Yeah. I have a few naval raiding party models. They have like they look like the artwork with the axe and the
Yeah,
submachine gun
fan
and
made ones. The
yeah.
yeah,
But I'm not. I don't think they're kitted out so great for what
no,
they do. Like, and they're a bit too big, maybe. But yeah,
Hmm.
we'll see how that progresses.
Yeah,
We've been at it for 2 hours now,
yeah.
so and we made it past two factions.
Free. We did Heretic Legion, Iron Sultanate, and Pilgrims.
Yeah, three. All right. Yes, and
Free, yeah.
we have the entire court and the Black Grail left to do. Should we do that another episode? Do you think?
I think that sounds like an episode three.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I think every faction deserves new energy, and
yeah,
if we just keep going for 2 hours more, it won't be as good.
yeah. No, there's something to that. I think. Yeah, yeah. We got, as you say, we got court, we got Black Rail, we got campaign rules, we got mercenaries, we got plenty of content to go through still.
Red Brigade and Black Great
Great,
Hunger.
great hunger. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, do you wanna like since the release? It's been like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, something like that. I guess. Yeah.
So I can I think like by the end of next week we will have some kind of update, another update. I think with rules errata and
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't really have anything to base it off, but I hope so. I think there is a lot to clarify. I said we have there are a lot of questions, not a lot of necessary questions right now. Those were pretty much addressed in the first errata, the most important ones. But there's a lot of polishing to be done, and I hope we get that soon. And
Yeah.
and more plans of what is ahead. What's the next factions to come? Is it Crusader Knights? Is it Court of or Temple of Metamorphosis? Who knows, right?
Yeah, Metamorphosis feels close.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of stuff to that.
Yeah, but boxes, like more Prussia boxes, right? The hero
Yeah,
box and
there wasn't a Prussia Sniper Priest. We need more Prussia boxes.
yeah, there will be two more, like the hero one and the build your own Prussian, not monopose. So, but what will come after that? Like, I'm very curious to see, because I think what comes in boxes will also decide very much what people play.
Yeah.
Sadly, and because all the new people that haven't played Trench Crusade yet will play Prussia.
Yeah.
Or they will rebuild it into something else, New Antioch.
And for that reason, I think that like the next boxes after that's going to be some sort of heretics.
Yeah, probably not New Antioch though, for sure.
No. I think an enemy to play against Prussia, a thematic enemy.
Yeah.
Something like ghosts, maybe. I could see ghosts being the box.
Do you?
We'll see.
Do you think they will go the Night Haunt route, or how will the ghost look?
I mean, we got some art. I think the art that we got of the what's that tank? The artwork of the tank. Yeah, exactly. I think getting that as a mini along with a group of well, I don't really know what I'm trying to think of looks they could go for. I suppose just a stereotypical ghost, which I suppose is quite night haunty. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Like skeletons, like more of the skeleton route would be cool to me.
Yeah.
But
I think that's. I don't think they will though. To be honest, I think skeletons would probably need reworking the rules, because rules like spectral and semi-corporeal.
Yeah.
Well, it's ghost specific. So.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, skeletal models painted ghostly.
Yes, that could do.
Just I don't want to have those spindly small clothy parts. Being the things count to the base. Like I don't like it. Not in Trench Crusade at least.
And I think there's a lot of space to make it quite different. I think, for example, well, we got one of the models, for example, the barbed wire banshee. What does that look like? I mean, that sounds like it could be really cool.
Yeah.
So maybe having it be more, not so much just, ooh, I'm spooky and green and blue, but rather more like possessing stuff of the battlefield kind of thing.
Yeah. There are some, like, I'm thinking to the old game Inquisitor, the Daemon Host Inquisitor model, like something like that. Maybe I can put a picture up here and you can see what I mean.
I haven't seen that, but I will react to the picture. Wow. That looks great.
Like possessed.
Yeah. No, I think there's so much they can do. I think our feeble mortal minds cannot comprehend, and I think I don't know. I'm excited to see what's on the road ahead.
Yeah. So I guess I'll see you next week. If you're
next week, I guess. Yeah. Why not? Let's keep at it.
Yeah. So good night.